When we speak of boundaries, many people imagine walls or barriers. They may think of shutting others out or protecting themselves in a hard way. But gentle boundaries are not like walls of stone. They are more like soft lines drawn in the sand. They can shift with the tide of life, but they still remind us where we stand. Gentle boundaries are acts of kindness toward both ourselves and others. They allow us to live with clarity without harming anyone. They are not about selfishness or fear. They are about honesty. When I know what I can carry and what I cannot, I can live without bitterness. When I share this truth with others in a calm and steady way, I offer them the same honesty. Think of the body breathing. The breath moves in and out, crossing the boundary of the skin. The body accepts what it needs and lets go of what it cannot keep. If the body tried to hold every breath, it would suffer. In the same way, our lives need this rhythm of receiving and releasing. A gentle boundary is the point where we understand what must be kept and what must pass. Living without boundaries can feel heavy. We may try to carry every request, every demand, every expectation. In time, this weight grows too much, and we begin to lose our peace. But when we learn to mark these soft lines, we regain our balance. We learn to walk through the world with respect for our own heart and also for the hearts of others. To live well with gentle boundaries, we need to see the relationship between ourselves and others. We are not separate islands, but we are also not without edges. Each person has their own shape, their own rhythm, their own needs. If we forget this balance, we may either close ourselves too tightly or open ourselves until we feel empty. When we care too much for others without pause, we may become tired or resentful. The heart begins to feel dry. When we only protect ourselves without giving, we may become lonely and cut off. Gentle boundaries help us find a middle way. They let us give without losing and protect without hardening. Imagine a garden with many plants. Each plant needs light, water, and space. If one plant spreads too far, the others cannot grow. If we never open the soil, nothing will take root. The gardener must watch with care, giving each plant what it needs, but also keeping the balance of the whole garden. Our relationships are much the same. Boundaries are the spaces that allow both self and others to flourish side by side. When we learn to say yes with truth and no with kindness, the balance appears. A gentle yes is not forced, and a gentle no is not cruel. Both arise from understanding. When we meet others with this balance, trust grows. We no longer fear being used, and we no longer fear being alone. Instead, we stand where we are, steady, and allow others to stand where they are, with respect. For many of us, the word no feels heavy. We fear that saying it will hurt others or make them turn away. Because of this fear, we often agree to things we do not have the strength to do. In the moment, we may think we are being kind, but in truth, we may be planting seeds of frustration because we are not being honest with ourselves or with those around us. A gentle boundary teaches us that no can be a gift. When spoken with calmness, it is not rejection. It is a way of honoring both our own limits and the needs of others. To say no when we must is to clear the space for a true yes when the time is right. In this way, our words become trustworthy. Think of the sky and the clouds. The sky does not hold every cloud forever. It lets them drift when it is time. This letting go does not harm the sky, and it does not harm the cloud. Each continues in its own way. Our no can be like this, natural, gentle, and without anger. Peace comes when we learn to say no without guilt. We stop carrying more than we can hold. We stop pretending to be stronger than we are. And in that honesty, we find rest. Others may even feel relief, because our clarity shows them where they truly stand. What seemed at first to be a hard word becomes a soft doorway to deeper respect. A gentle boundary is not built from anger or fear. It is shaped by kindness. When we protect the heart with kindness, we do not close it like a locked door. Instead, we hold it as one might hold a fragile flame, guarding it from strong winds so it can continue to shine. Kindness begins with how we speak to ourselves. If we constantly tell ourselves to endure beyond our strength, we are not being kind. If we ignore our own needs, we teach others to ignore them as well. Protecting the heart means listening to its quiet voice and respecting its limits. This is not weakness, it is care. When we set boundaries kindly, others can feel the difference. A harsh refusal can cut like a blade, leaving wounds behind. But a gentle refusal, spoken with steady warmth, can still carry love. It allows the relationship to stay whole, even if the answer is no. In this way, kindness becomes a shield that protects without hurting. Think of a small stream flowing through stones. The water moves around each stone without breaking them. It finds its way forward with patience and grace. This is how gentle boundaries work. They do not fight, but they also do not give up their path. They protect the flow of life by moving with kindness. When we learn to guard our hearts in this way, we remain open without being overwhelmed. We welcome others, but we do not lose ourselves. In the quiet strength of kindness, both we and those around us can breathe more freely. Gentle boundaries are not about distance. They are about living with truth and care. When we learn to respect where we begin and where we end, we discover a freedom that is both soft and strong. We no longer fear being taken advantage of, and we no longer feel the need to hide. We can meet life as it comes, steady in ourselves, open to others, and at peace with what we can give. These boundaries do not separate us from love. Instead, they allow love to remain pure. When we speak honestly and kindly about what we can and cannot do, our relationships rest on trust. People know our yes is true, and our no is also true. This clarity is a gift, one that helps both sides grow. To live with gentle boundaries is to walk through the world without bitterness. It is to care for the heart so that it can keep shining. It is to understand that balance is not a prison, but a doorway into deeper peace. With each boundary placed in kindness, we create space for life to flow with harmony. As I bring these reflections to a close, I want to share my deep gratitude. Your presence here is meaningful. For those who have given a like, subscribed to this channel, written kind comments, offered support through super thanks, or joined as members, please know that I hold your generosity with respect and appreciation. Each gesture, small or great, helps to continue this path of sharing together. May these words bring a gentle strength to your days, and may your own heart remain both protected and open.